Hey, Facebook world. Hope you guys are having an awesome day on YouTube and LinkedIn. Todd Schroth, Agents Who Win, with my coach for referrals, Thommy Sandvick, sorry. And we are here today to talk about an event we're hosting this Thursday
Yes.
at our office in Altamont Springs with Agents Who Win, and talking about the 5 key things for self-mastery. And this is really about how to build more referrals and everything else, and really just to make yourself a better person. And I think that'll push us in the right direction. So wanted to give the floor to Thommy and let him run the show.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be there. So here's the thing: is like you mentioned so perfectly, right? Referrals. What the heck does self mastery have to do with referrals, right? So there's actually 3 main components to generating more referrals. It's self mastery. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The first thing is relationship mastery, which is right learning how to build relationships with other people and communicating to people in order to generate more referrals. And then there's event mastery, which is all about how do you scale your referrals. But the really important part that gets often overlooked is self mastery, right? Which is to say, very simply, if you want to generate more referrals and you've got trust with people, but let's say, for instance, you get super overwhelmed because you're really, really, really busy. Well, what happens typically is you end up stop communicating, as an example, right? And so how do you master self in order to make sure that you are staying consistent? Ultimately, it's about consistency, right? Being able to have consistent communication and to be consistently breaking through. Life happens, right? We're independent business owners. Things get thrown at us. We have to keep growing so that those things don't knock us off track and affect the business. So with self-mastery, it's all about identifying the 5 main habits and learning to grow in the 5 main habits that basically are scientifically proven to keep you consistent, which anytime I'm talking to people, certainly with clients, potential clients, people always say the biggest challenge is consistency. If I could just consistently do the activity, consistently generate referrals, or just consistently grow the business, I'd be in good shape, right? Consistency is such a big part of what we do. So having the habits to be able to stay in consistently, and then once we achieve success, be able to sustain that success over the long term without sacrificing, right, time, energy, or personal relationships, right? So we got to make sure that we get super, super busy. Are we doing the things that we love? Are we still spending the time with our loved ones? Because otherwise, the whole reason why many of us do business, right, ends up falling to the side. And you know what? You end up rich and alone. And that's no fun, right? We know people who are really rich and really freaking miserable. And the reason for that is because they haven't really truly grown to master themselves. So we're going to go over the 5 habits that you can, we're going to go through each one and learn through each of them exactly what you could do to build those habits so that you don't suffer that same fate, right? Let's not be alone and let's not
Alone, miserable, and wealthy. You know, who do you give your money to? You can't give it to your family because they left you. They don't care about you anymore, and you can't give it to anybody else. So you got to find your favorite charity that wants to hang out with you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
All that good stuff. So let's dive into like bullet point the 5 habits. Not dive deep because that's what that you come to the class for.
That's what you come to class. Yeah, exactly.
For the event for. Well, let's dive into number 1 real quick. Let's just name off the 5. Like the bullet points, and then we can dive in. And again, guys, deep dive on Thursday when we have the class. But let's dive into those 5 real quick, just with bullet points.
Yeah, cool. So the first one, you want me to do all 5, and then we'll
go. Dive in all 5, but it's literally speed dating. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, speed dating. All right, so it's clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. Perfect. Those 5 habits. So clarity is all about always being clear on who you are, how you want to interact with others, and what's made you successful. Those are the 3 core tenets of clarity. So that's really important because without the clarity, the other habits are not as effective, right? So clarity is something to always be going back to, and really people want accountability, but and there's a place in the world for accountability coaching, don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. If you're really clear about who you are and making sure that your actions are aligning with that, you don't need accountability. And that's when you know you want to be loving, generous, and appreciative, you have no problem doing the strategies that we teach to generate referrals. So that's one example, right? Then energy, everything is energy. Everyone thinks it's all about productivity and time management. The reality is you can't manage time. You can never get it back, but you can generate energy. You can learn to manage your energy, and you can learn to generate more energy when you need it on demand. You can do it if you have the right strategies, right? So we're going to go through energy and helping identify where you can improve in that area, right? And then courage. Now, courage is a fun one because typically we think the opposite of courage is fear. It's all about overcoming fear and taking action. But courage also applies to expression of self. So the courage could be having that difficult conversation, maybe with somebody in business, maybe somebody personally, that's a drain on your energy because you're giving them the mental space. So courage is really, really important, especially in the growth in business. The more you grow, the more the people around you continue to shift. Courage is a big, big, big part of that, right? In addition to just identifying what your fears are and learning how to break through them or overcome them, or at the very least, dance with the fears that you may have. This is courage. Productivity kind of goes without saying, but here's the thing. Productivity is not just checking off the tasks on the to-do list. Productivity is all about moving the needle on the things that truly matter to you. So that's like, we would call that working on your business in many respects, right? But really identifying what's robbing you of your productivity, and then being able to develop the habit of continually improving that, of which there are, of course, many, many strategies to do that, many experts on productivity. It's a huge, space, obviously. And then influence. So influence is all about, there's three main tenets to influence. It's challenge people to grow and contribute, right? Teach them how to think, and role model the way. Those three things. So developing influence, in business especially, you want more, whether you're working by referral, working by lead, working by cold call, it doesn't matter. You have to learn to develop influence, right, with the people around you to move them in the direction you want to go. So what we're going to do in this workshop is we're going to go through each of those 5 areas in depth, right, in a workshop format, so that you're going to self-identify, you're going to be partnered up and learn from each other. And then with every single one of those habits, you're going to walk away with a quantifiable strategy that you can utilize on a day-to-day basis to improve in that area. So we have an energy strategy, we have a clarity exercise, we have the productivity worksheet. So all of this with a total workbook that with a complete workbook that takes you through as well. So you're going to really truly walk away, not only get great ahas around these areas and where your gaps are and how you can improve, but then also walk away with actionable information that you can continue to utilize, because these are habits. Habits take time to develop. So the idea is to introduce you, and then you can continue to develop the habits. And that will lead to referrals, because when I do this, these sessions with people one-on-one, I cannot give them any strategies around generating referrals. But just the fact that they go through these sessions, we start working through literally in that order: clarity, energy, courage, and productivity. In 4 sessions, people start getting referrals, and I haven't even taught them a strategy. It's just because of how they're showing up in the world. I was talking, I'm pretty open about sharing, like Jenna LeBruno-Poost. She's completely taken off, right? Her pipeline was absolutely nothing. She was overwhelmed, stressed out, no business in the pipeline. 4 one-on-one coaching sessions, this exact curriculum, and boom, she took off. And then I gave her strategies, and now she's 14 million last year.
Yeah, right? Which is top crazy, because think about 14 million, and the commission side of things is literally close to $400,000 in income. Yeah. And to do that working with people who like and trust you, where I can make 600,000 or 100,000 and spend 1,000 or 5,000 a month buying opportunities to get people to know, like, and trust me. Yeah. And, and that might not go anywhere. And you're basically beating your head against a wall trying to find people that want to buy something versus people who already know you or want to refer to you. So, and and I'm just putting those numbers out there as a numbers game. For what the value of what's there, it can take you from here all the way up to here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the thing is too, like we're in business, and here's the thing, like I know the real estate market in particular, like everyone's pulling their hair out right now. Like it's total madness.
I'm trying to keep it
This
there.
is yeah, yeah, and it's like this is the work to make sure that you're not so drained of energy and of love, right? And what I mean by that is making sure that you're finding the harmony in your life to be able to just, even if it's just a little bit, maybe you like to play video games, like even if it's just a couple hours once a week that refills you, or maybe it's taking a couple hours and going to the beach, but it's those sorts of things, just getting awareness around that. These habits help you identify that and get in alignment with that, so you're not completely ending every week just totally exhausted, overwhelmed, and freaking out trying to figure out how to manage life ultimately, right? That's what drew me to this. Was I always knew that personal development is so important in business, but I wanted a specific plan to master specific things that I could dig into and learn to master. And that's what I found through these 5 habits effectively.
No, it's good stuff, and that's why it's like we want to dive in like with the workbook style. I think it's going to show you the strategies, and for an opportunity to take it, from what Jenna did. And if you're an agent struggling 0 to 10 deals, and especially in this market right now, it's all about strategy and all about finding opportunities that people want to work with you, and not going after the constant chasing. This is a great place to be here. So, Thursday, Altamont Springs in our office. We're going to drop the invite link in our comments, and then get you guys here. Spend 2 hours diving deep, and if it's something you want to expand further on, we can talk about like what the one-on-one stuff looks like as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, and it's free, so you get to come for. I mean, there's a lot of this is not. I want to be really clear too. Like, there's a lot of self-help stuff out there and stuff. This is science-driven. That is curriculum-backed with an extensive amount of specific research around the exact questions I'm going to ask, the exact worksheets we're going to give, and the core 5 habits, just in general, that they are what leads to that success. So I really want to highlight that for free, you're getting a lot of amazing information that I will also add, I've paid a significant amount for to be able to share it with you guys. So I'm excited about it because I love doing this work.
Well, and what you're doing is giving back to the real estate community. Not even just real estate; it's lenders, it's titles, everything. So, I mean, whatever industry you're in, come to the office and check it out, because it's things that we can give back for. But you're taking the knowledge. Like when I go to conferences, like you want to learn, write notes as if you're going to teach the product, and you've learned and have continued to teach this. Which Jen is a prime example of what can happen if you do exactly what's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cool. I love it.
Well, guys, we're going to drop the link in the comments for Thursday's workshop. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. I don't want to call it class or master
self-mastery workshop,
whatever. Workshop, because we are going to be doing work during that. It's like our last one you did, where we're building a game plan while you're there. And if there's questions, I know how to fill the blank in, or hey, what's the strategy when I get to this opportunity, and then continue to push it forward. So. Thursday we'll drop the link in, guys. And Thommy, any like final things we should throw at them?
Nope, that's good. I'll look forward to seeing you there.
Cool. Want to keep it short and sweet and get the invite out there and go from there. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on Thursday.